Look at how vibrant those colors are, Case. Check.
Hello, and welcome back to the Bennetts Life Podcast.
Episode 14.
Today, we are going to be talking about being a interracial couple / family.
Because we were a couple before we were a family.
Yes, we were.
In case you don't know, I'm mixed, half black and half white.
You're tripping, Chris. He wishes.
What?
Yeah,
No, I'm white,
me too.
but you're also
Black.
all right. So yeah, I'm sure this is not even an uncommon thing anymore.
Yeah.
Eventually, everybody's going to just be a
Mixed.
shade of tan because everybody's going to be mixed. There's going to be no white, black, Asian, or anything like that. What?
Yeah. You were telling me to put my arms off the table.
Because
Why
you keep banging the table. I just rest mine on there.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, I think eventually everybody's going to be mixed. But in some parts of the world, in some areas, definitely in the news as of late, race is still a big deal.
True. Preach.
And for us, it is not. So, Casey, we met in England, and I'll tell you a quick
No, Chris.
oversight.
Don't
No, I'm not going to tell them how we met.
Okay.
I'm sick of telling that story.
Me too.
It's so boring.
It's so annoying.
I was a model, in case he was like, no. Anyway, we met. Casey, I'm about to tell them what it's like where I'm from.
Okay. I just don't want you to go into how we met and start telling your lies.
It's not lies.
Anyways, go ahead.
I was a stripper, and Casey came in and made it
Chris.
rain all over me. And then she said, hey, I'll be your sugar mama. And then that's how we got going.
Okay, get to the...
Where I'm from, in the northeast of England, everybody, if you're 6 foot, it's very uncommon, all right? You're very, very tall if you're 6 foot where I'm from. And everybody's white and everybody's short. That's because in previous years, where I am from, there was a lot of mining work years and years and years ago, all right? So everybody moved in that area to work in the mines. And to work in the mines, it's an advantage if you are small, all right? So these people...
So we got a bunch of hobbits running around
So
in the north.
bunch of hobbits running around, and then these people had sex with each other and had kids.
Chris!
I'm just telling them... Basically, the population's made up of short mining people, and the mines aren't even open anymore, but everybody just stayed. So everybody's short and everybody's white. It's not very diverse where I'm from, okay? I'm not saying there isn't other colours, but 90% of the people that live where I'm from are white, and they're 5'5".
The locals, he's saying. So, but there is a college in where he's from, around where he's from, called Durham, which is the college that I was going to, the university.
And you can always tell...
Universities do...
Bring the diversity.
In any place, in any country, create diversity.
Well, I knew she was at the college without even speaking or whatever, because I knew she wasn't a local by the way she looked. She's 6'6" and isn't white.
True.
No, she's not 6'6", by the way. She's like 6'7".
No, I'm 5'9". I mean
5'9"?
I'm 5'11" and 3/4.
She's 6 foot.
But I am 6 feet with shoes on.
So, anyway, us initially getting together, the fact that she was mixed or a different race than me, well, you're not a different race than me, but the fact that she was mixed was never a deal, never a big deal. It wasn't a problem. It was never anything that I really took into account. In fact, that's just in life. I don't really care what race you are. Don't really care anything about you, minus you being a good person. But for us personally getting together, even from the background I'm from, it was never a problem that Casey was black or white. So it should be, right?
Right.
When she first met my parents, let me try this. My parents are not racist before I tell this story, all right? And I know usually if you say, I'm not a racist, that usually means you are. But before I get into it, my parents aren't racist. But I did have to prepare my parents on meeting Casey for the first time, but it wasn't because that she was mixed. It was because she's tall, you know?
Which is so weird.
Well, because I'm 5'8", and my mom's 5 foot. All right, no kidding. She's 5 foot, maybe she's 5'1" or something like that. But she's
short.
She's very short, and I knew that if I didn't prepare them, it would be like an elephant in the room, and they would be so polite that they wouldn't say anything. Whereas I thought if I prepared them, I'm going to bring a girl, and she's very tall, so don't be weird about it. All right, and feel and feel fine about talking to her about being tall. Like don't be like. And the whole time just wanting to say, whoa, you're tall, all right?
I guess I did prepare my family for meeting Chris as well. I mean, like, not my parents. Well, maybe I did too. I don't really remember. But, like, just because he has a lot of tattoos and he used to have, like, big holes in his ears. And so I was like, Just forewarning that he is heavily tattooed and he has big holes in his ears.
Well, I didn't know this.
So.
And what did they say?
And they were like, okay.
Don't marry him. That's the type of guy you spend a weekend with, not a life with.
Anyways, keep going from your side. So I wanted to say, it's weird hearing that. Oh, I was telling them that you're tall, like, because it's never been like an issue.
Well, because any girls I dated prior were smaller than me, and I'm 5'8" on a good day.
Yeah.
All right. So it was just going to be not the norm, and I didn't want it to be an awkward situation. When they first met you, because I know my parents, they would have wanted to say something about you being tall, but they would have been too polite to be like, and I would have seen them like twitching the whole time. Like, I just need to say you're tall.
I don't even think it's the tall thing that is like an issue for them anymore, but it's still how large my feet are.
Yeah, she's got massive feet, like size 16 feet.
No,
it's insane.
I don't. I wear size 12.
13.
12.
Anyway.
And 12 in men's. 13's in women's.
It was funny though, because when they first met, it was in a champagne bar, and my mum was sat down, and Casey was stood up. And then even when my mum stood up, she still was short.
Obviously.
But anyway, the point I'm trying to make was race was not a problem for my parents either. I just prepared them because she was tall, because that's not the norm where I'm from. All right. So even from my family side, it was not a problem. And yours can't be a problem because your family's made up of white and black.
Right.
So then, as we got together, we got married, we had a child.
But you're saying, but you forgot about, like, what's your friends and stuff. Like, if it was, like, you were having external...
Well, was it different weird for your friends? Everybody on Casey's friends told her not to get with us because I'm short.
No, it wasn't because he was short. It's because he was a douchebag.
And short.
A short douchebag. No.
A tiny douchebag.
No, like, I mean, like, because it's not the norm there, like, and you are local, so you obviously had, like, your local friends, like, you know.
Yeah. There was no negatives said from my friend group at that time about me being with Casey. What was a bigger deal for them was how serious we got so quickly. Like, a lot of them were telling me that, oh, are you sure? Like, you've only known her so long, like, and that period wasn't very long. So I can understand that, but none of them ever turned around and said, oh, you shouldn't be dating that girl because she's not white. Like, that's... Thankfully, I've got had a good group of friends and had a good family, I have a good family, and, like, nobody cares. Like, it's one of these topics in my life where it's never, ever been a point of discussion or opposition or anything. Like, I don't care what race you are. I don't care what religion you are or anything like that. Like, mainly because I'm not educated enough to be bothered about, but also because I'm a good person. Like, you can do whatever you want. As long as you're not affecting my life on a negative standpoint, I don't care. And even if you are trying to affect my life on a negative standpoint, then I'll just talk to you. I'm not that guy, you know? Like, so race was never an issue, and it wasn't from my friends, and it wasn't from my family. I don't think it was from Casey's side either. I think it was never that. So we got together, and
shortly after we got married.
Yeah, but prior to getting married, with Casey jumping forward like 6 months here, even
so long.
Even like walking around the streets. Did you think people would stare at us when we were walking around the streets in Durham?
Maybe.
No. Yes is my answer. Maybe it's because you were just oblivious, but me, it was the height thing. I think that was a big deal.
I'm used to people staring, so I just try to ignore it.
Okay, beautiful.
No, not like that, like, Chris.
Oh, girl, let me get your number.
Not like that, Chris. But because I am tall, and I am mixed.
And attractive.
So people do.
And you've got a booty.
Chris.
Wrong place. So
people do look, and I don't like to be stared at, so I just try to live in my own little world.
And I used to get stared at for having a lot of tattoos as well, I guess. But
well,
anyway.
And because everybody knew him in the town, so obviously they're going to be looking at you.
Well, anyway, I could feel people looking at us when we first got together walking around the town, and I don't know what the cause of it was. I never really asked because I didn't really care, but I definitely could feel them eyes on us once we began our relationship. But then we moved to America, and we got married, and then 2 years after that, was it 2 years after that? 2 years after that, we had a child. But leading up to the child, we had this, like... competition, I guess, a bet going on.
Oh, okay.
And I said that Bodhi was going to just look white, in case you said Chris. That she's going to look mixed.
Stop. Okay, so when we started talking about having children, then we would say, oh, I wonder what our kids are going to look like. Because I think that's a normal conversation when you are talking about having kids. And so
gorgeous. That's what they're going to look like.
I would say, obviously, our kid is just going to look white. Chris is white. I'm like mixed, but like I'm pretty light to be mixed, to be a mixed person. And I have blue eyes. So it's like Chris has blue eyes. So our kid is probably going to have like blue, light colored eyes. And I have like curly hair, but my hair for the most part is like pretty
white.
It's not white hair, but like my texture is not very
coarse.
It's not super coarse. And then with Chris's hair, I was like, our kid's gonna definitely have curly hair, but it's probably gonna look just like, I don't know.
And I have a lot of hair.
So anyways, the point was, and then Chris was like, no, people will be able to tell that he's black, even though he's only like a quarter black. He was like, people will be able to tell he's mixed. And I was like, nobody's going to be able to tell that he's mixed. Because people still ask me like, oh, what's your ethnicity or whatever? You know, like people aren't really sure. So I was like, our kid's going to turn out white. So for like 2 years, we would talk to our families about it. We would talk about it. And then we're like, well, we're never going to know the answer until we have a child. So fast forward 2 years later, pop out a kid, and
he's a
surprise, surprise, he is as white as they come.
Gets burnt real easy.
He's super white. He's very, like, even for, I think, white kids, like, he's
very,
he's very fair skinned. He's got that
me.
English skin. He's got rosy cheeks when he gets warm.
I think he's going to be ginger as well.
His hair is
Do you
pretty.
think he's going to be ginger?
No.
I think he is.
No, I think he's going to have, like the top of my hair. And like.
Not that there's anything wrong with being ginger before all you people, all you gingers start commenting. I'm just saying.
My hair has, like, some light highlights in the front, and I think that's how his hair will be. Not right now, but because I just wet it. But in the front, I do have, like, some lighter blonde pits, and that's how I think all his hair is going to be, though. And he's got the blue eyes.
Anyway, the point she's trying to make is, I was right and she was wrong.
She said he was going to be a white. Was I was right all along, as I knew we were going to have a white child, and Chris was wrong because nobody will know that he is.
I just thought that there would be elements of him that you would definitely tell that his mother was mixed. I've never had a baby. Oh,
and that's
before,
the other thing. Like, my features are not like very black or very like African American, if you want to be politically correct. Like my nose is pretty.
You can say whatever you want.
I have my mom's nose, and that's like pretty pointy and narrow. My
like
lips aren't super full.
You've got big lips.
You have big lips, Chris. So our kid is gonna have probably like full lips. Chris has got a bigger nose than I do, so.
What is going on here?
Just saying, his features. My features are not very. I don't have super ethnic features, and
I do.
So anyways, we'll see what he looks like. Obviously he's barely gonna be 2 next month, so
I shouldn't say that.
we still don't know for sure what he'll look like. Chris thinks everybody says he's Chris's twin. Everybody's like, he looks just like his dad.
He does.
But I don't look like what I looked like when I was a kid. Like I had more roundish features, which I think most kids do because you're toddlers and they're like chubby. And so I think like as he develops, I think from his nose down, I think is going to start to look more like me.
She's hoping anyway.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't like when people go, oh, look, that's Chris's son.
No, that's not true. I just would like to be able to like them to see like, oh, look, he has your eyes or something.
You think it's going to be a bad thing if he looks like me? You married me.
Chris, shut up. I'm just saying. I birthed him and I would like to have him some sort of him
the back of his hair.
Me. Chris. What? That's the worst part of his hair.
He has really thick, coarse hair on the back of his head.
Yeah.
That's always knotted.
Okay, so then we were going to talk about like his life growing up. And obviously like people are just going to assume that he's white. Which when I was coaching volleyball, like my first year coaching, there was a girl, I was high school, and I just assumed she was white. And then some sort of like conversation came up and they were like, oh, so-and-so is black. And I was like, what? That's so random that you said that. Why do you say this? They're like, because she's mixed. And I was like, no way. Like, you could not tell at all. And she was like, yeah, well, she's, her mom is mixed like you. Her mom was like half black, half white. And I was like, really? And they were like, yeah. So she's like a quarter black. And like, you would never know. And I was like, that's so weird. And now, like, having a son this mixed the same percentage as her, I was like, that's going to be like, people will not know, you know.
But on his form, he will write mixed.
That's the other thing. Like, a lot of the time they make you choose one race. Like, that's how I was growing up my whole life. And my mom always checked black. And
They don't have a biracial option?
They did not. Like, they would like choose one race. But I think now that, like, people are there's so many mixed people, and it's like not like the norm, but like it's more normal now.
More normal,
yeah, that they are adding like multiracial is a box, you know.
Yeah.
And it's usually multiracial, not Hispanic. I don't know why they make this like differentiation, but like if you can click multiracial, as long as one of your mixings is not with Hispanics. I don't know why they do that. So
Smarter people than us would be able to tell us.
But yeah, so I guess like obviously we'll choose multiracial for him as well.
Of course, because that option in itself, like, let's just go into things in the future, like job opportunities, college applications, like. I don't how
yeah
how
I think I got my last job and in large part to being mixed because they want to be able it was I know it was for sure because I was a woman, but they wanted to be able to like have more diversity in the like athletic department. And so because I was female, that automatically, they said like 80% of the applications were male, so that automatically went to the trash. So I only had to compete against the other 20%, and then because I was black, that probably like really put me in the top of the group.
They didn't even look at what you were like as a coach.
I know, I was like, come on guys, I don't know if you should be telling me this, but
yeah. But I think if he has that option,
yeah.
Like I train a few people where they're like the mom's white and the dad's native, and they always click their kids as native so that they can get their health care and get all the opportunities, and like they get scholarships and grants and stuff. And like, not to say we're going to use it for that purpose, but I mean he is. So why would he not? You know, just because he doesn't look like a black kid, like doesn't mean he isn't.
Yeah.
You know? My main thing is.
Chris was hoping that he was going to look more black.
No, it wasn't Kiss.
He thinks it's cool to have mixed kids.
I do think it's cool. I just think it's cool in general that we're together. There's a lot of reasons why we shouldn't be. And
what?
Yeah. I mean, from outside perspective, you know? And then I just thought it was cool for my son to be multiracial. I never thought I would have a mixed wife or a biracial kid. Never dreamt of this my whole entire life. Life is a funny thing. I'm not saying I was against it, just never thought it because, like I was saying earlier, where I'm from. But my main interest is going to be, as he grows, is what is he going to choose? Is he just going to think he's white? Is he going to know that he's mixed? Like when he's in his group of friends, if he say he's got 3 black friends, all right?
Yeah.
And he says to his friends, hey, I'm black too. Like, what is that acceptance level going to be like? Because I know, like, mixed kids, you were telling me that they have, like, a tough time fitting into one or the other sometimes.
And that's what my parents, like, I think they had to deal with was, like some response. Like, I think a lot of mixed kids, the parents feel some responsibility to make sure that they are equally a part of both cultures. And I don't think that my parents really put a lot of emphasis on making sure I was part of one or the other or both cultures. Like they just raised us normally, you know, like, but not like, oh, let's make sure that you're learning all your black history and like the white side is different because I think in general, the world is focused I don't know how to say this without sounding like weird, but like, it's easier
for white people.
Yeah, we don't have White History Month because every month is White History Month. Is basically what I'm saying. You know.
Also, you wouldn't want to learn about white history because
we are raised in the white world. Yeah. So, but they didn't go out of their way really to like emphasize the black side. Like it was just like how I was raised. But I know that some mixed people do because they want their child to not to identify with one or the other, but to be able to fit into both worlds. So, and I think that luckily I never felt like, oh, they're not letting me into their group because I'm mixed or anything like that. But I know that I didn't really fit in with like the black kids at my school because maybe I like was not like
Dark
I
enough.
was not black, not even like with my skin color, but just like with my upbringing. Like we didn't have the same like background or like come from the same sort of like, I don't know.
No,
We didn't have the
I get
same sort of cultural upbringing. I don't know how to explain it better than that.
Well, because they're from a black household and you're from a mixed you're from a both culture household, and
Right.
it's very obvious that the white side was definitely
And my
more
dad, well,
put onto you.
and the thing is, my dad is not like a super like stereotypical like black man. Like he grew up in the Air Force, which I think military people are a little bit different. And then
More cultured, better traveled.
Right. And then he grew up, because it was in the Air Force, he grew up like in France and in Germany. And so I think him being like more European just made him a little bit different. And I don't know if you want to say like whiter, I don't know. But like, you know, he just was not like the stereotypical black man.
Well, not even whiter. He just
like,
is probably like that disciplined sort of upbringing he had probably sculpt him as a man, you know,
Right, yeah.
regardless of race. Like if you're in a military environment,
yeah.
you
But
know
people would say, you know, like that he's not like super like a black guy, you know, like, but that's like stereotyping, you know? So anyways, so I'm saying like, I wasn't like as black or like, you know, black culture as they were. So I didn't really like fit in that way, you know? And then, so like maybe it was easier for me to like fit in with my white friends, but even then, like I wasn't like super like with them because we didn't like, I didn't have the same upbringing as them either, you know, like I didn't really identify. So I had a pretty mixed group of friends, but that's because like in Tucson, like we are like Tucson's pretty diverse, but only because like we have like majority like Hispanic, Native American population, a little bit of white, a little bit of Asian, a little bit of black people. So
well, your three best friends is a 2-to-1 ratio of white to black.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you don't have black friends.
No. Yeah. So.
But I'm just
anyways.
curious. I'm curious how Bodhi holds himself. Like, is he just gonna want to be just white? Is he gonna accept like being mixed? Like, not accept, but like, what is he gonna do about it? You know,
right.
like
but, and that's my like what I was getting to is like I think he's gonna be like me. Like I'm not gonna go out of my way to like make sure that he's like can fit in with the black people. You know, just like I'm not going to go out of my way to make sure that he feels white. Like he's just gonna come out.
And this is not a racist comment by me. This is a lack of education on my behalf. Like, if you, for example, if I'd have met you and you did embrace your black culture more, or Bodhi grows and he wants to embrace his black culture more, I'm 100% supportive, but I'm going to need to educate myself on it, because being his father and being white, especially from being England, like it's just, there's a lot of things where it will be difficult for me to contribute or help or guide him in that. No, and I'm sure Casey and his granddad would help out with that, but I'm just saying, like, if he was to really, really embrace that side, which I would be very supportive of, I would have to educate myself because I'm very uneducated in it right now. But in case you were wondering, he's the white boy.
But I don't think he's going to. I think by the time that and I know like racism isn't gonna like disappear in like 10 years or anything, but I just think like it's not for kids his age, and when they get older, like it's not going to be an issue, you know, like he's just going to have the friends that he has. I think parents now, or like I want to think like the good parents our age, parents who are open-minded and have the same sort of mindset that we do, are just raising their kids to not see color. I have to go into the living room now, so we are going to sign off on that note. Leave your comments and questions down below about what you think on this issue. If you have a mixed kid, the Bennett boys just made a mess in the living room, so I got to go clean it up. I'll let Chris sign off.
Sorry, we just smashed some things playing. We'll sign off right now. I made a big mess. There's a lot of glass on the floor. Everyone's okay though, so you're fine.
Go. Did your dad do a bad thing?
I did. Sorry. Anyway, thank you for watching. This is an abrupt ending, but if you heard that, then you know something. You know I just messed up.
We'll see you guys next time. Check out the website www.lovejamesmarie.com. Subscribe, and we will see you next time.
I'm gonna get in trouble. Deuces. Sorry, Case.
Chris, I told you.
I was so excited about it though.